G'day, Ronnie Dale, Four Wheeling Australia. We're here at Menai and we've got this giant Patrol on massive wheels. 40s, I think. Musa, jump in, mate.
How you going?
Good, mate. This is Musa from Aussie Four Wheelers.
Hey guys.
In this is a beast, mate. What's it set up for?
Hardcore four-wheel driving.
As you would have seen in the intro. This thing's a beast. So what motor's in it? And are we running on petrol, diesel, and is it automatic? Just give us those specs on it.
Yes, it's a TB48, which is a 4.8 litre from Nissan Patrol. It's a petrol engine running dual fuel, LPG, and automatic transmission.
And then the rest is all changed?
Yes, the rest is all changed, going from the diffs, axles, to the lifts.
We changed everything on it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's dissect this vehicle from front, back, and inside out. All right, well, so we'll start with the exterior of the vehicle. There's some pretty cool bar work going on, but we'll start with the front end.
It's just a generic bull bar from Melbourne that I got shipped.
Okay.
It's basically designed on ARB principle. Similar.
Okay. And it's winch compatible. What type of winch you got in there?
Well, that's a good question. It's a twin motor Runva 10 dB winch. It's a competition winch.
And it's a low mount.
Well, I ended up fitting it. Yeah, it's a low mounted type of winch, but with the gearing of two motors.
Nice. So
Yeah.
it's pretty quick.
So I haven't even tested it yet. So this week I'll be testing it.
Yeah, okay.
Testing it
If
out.
you get stuck, I'm going to be in trouble. Oh man! So how many meters are spooled onto this one? Same as most other winches, or?
Yeah, at the moment it's only 30, but I will put 40, 45, or 50, depending
Oh, yeah, you got more room, don't you?
on the rope. Yeah,
Yeah, a bit more room.
that I get. Yeah, see the cradle. I made it all independent to the bull bar as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 10 mil steel, bent it up, and bolted up to the chassis
Awesome.
with some massive bolts.
I've seen you've had a bit of contact here.
Yeah, there's always contact, and the touch-up paint fixes all that.
I reckon we need to go down the side of this vehicle because that's where it's like the whole thing's armoured, isn't it?
Yes.
So your brush rail down to a side step, and this is where most full drives kind of they got the same, but then you've gone an extra step and you've gone further at the back as well.
Yeah. So just wanted, because we do a lot of hardcore four-wheel driving in the rocks and tight chutes and so on. So didn't want anything leaning on the body or flares that I had even before. So you clip a flare onto a rock and then it damages a panel, which I have in case here. This was all squashed up like a tissue. And just by clipping something. So I thought, you know what, I will connect it to the bull bar away from the body a little bit so it gives a bit of movement, cover the gap with the rubber flares, and connect it down to the rock slider, which is also a side step.
Mm-hmm. And that's bolted on there?
Yep, so that side's welded, that side's bolted in case I have to remove one or the other, so it's a little bit easier so I don't have to cut through the welds.
And this side step is very similar to your stealth hardcore vehicle.
Yes, it's exactly the same.
It is?
Yeah, exactly the same, 150 by 50 by 4 mil RHS.
Seriously strong.
Yeah, I've lent the whole car on it without denting or bending it. So,
And you got a bit of a kick out here?
yes. Now, we had an issue here when we did the bar work on the rear to bring it out to cover the tyres with the flares and everything. So, followed it all the way back and then kicked it in. And I didn't want to have that corner left in case of I get hung up on a tree or a rock. So I thought, put a triangle piece so it pushes the car away as we're driving.
Okay.
And I already proved it this morning. On the other side, I've got a bit of a scratch now there,
Okay.
that it worked good.
So we're following this around onto the rear. This looks pretty serious, mate.
Yeah, so you have the rear bar coming around, and then we had this bar work coming out here, and then back under there. The reason why I went straight was to make space for mud flaps. And because of that angle now kicking out, and I wanted that line to cover the wheels,
Yeah.
you know, and because of that angle now, the same issue like at the front. I didn't want to reverse into a rock or a tree and then start bending the rear bar or the bar work. So I added these two pipes here, so that way they'll push the car away
Yep.
off it. And this served good for the mud flaps, which I can show you. We did a half pipe cut and welded a piece on top of there, screwed the mud flap on, and you just hook it on.
Quick disconnect.
Yeah, but to remove it, you actually need a hammer. They're not easy to remove, so to put it on, you just push it down, and it just, see, clicks in. And you've got to do this one from here, so you've got force.
Oh, yeah, they're not coming off.
And you can't take them off. You need now a hammer to just knock that out and take it off, chuck it in the car, and off you go.
That's pretty smart.
Thanks to the guys from Easy Tens, that was their suggestion and design.
So you haven't made this bar. This is a bar you've modified into suit all
Yes.
this interconnecting stuff.
Yes.
That's pretty intricate, I gotta
Yeah.
say. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's probably the most detailed bar work we've seen so far.
All right, that's cool.
You got a bit of a bash plate on this.
That's
Is
the
that
LPG.
plastic? Is that metal?
Yes, that's the LPG gas tank, and that's the bash plate for it.
That's the one that comes with it?
Yeah.
That's your recovery point. You wouldn't use that, I'll take it.
Yeah, I do use it
You do
to
use it?
recover other people
Okay, but
when they get stuck.
so use that over this or?
No, I just
Yeah,
use
this
that bottom
one.
one.
Yeah, but not that one.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Even though I've actually strengthened that, I could even use that, but
Okay.
I try to avoid using that. Just use it.
But
for,
no point because you got this
Yeah.
anyway.
I use
one
it to
time-
stand on it so I can reach the top.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that will come in handy, wouldn't it? This tyre is not the same size as
No,
those.
no. Because when I bought the 40s, they were too expensive and I couldn't afford buying another one.
Okay.
So I thought I'll leave 37s, like a 37 on as a spare, plus to put a 40 tyre in there, which I will eventually,
Need
as
to
I've got to
strengthen this
upgrade.
up or
I got to actually
push it out.
Yeah, I've got to shorten the arm here on
Ah.
move the jerry cans over, and same thing with the other one so it can fit.
Wait, it's just fitting here. I
Yeah.
see what you mean. It'll be out
Yeah.
here, wouldn't it?
But for the moment, it'll still work because with Nissan Patrols being part-time four-wheel drive, so if you have a flat somewhere or a busted tyre, make sure you put that one on the front.
Mm. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna stuff up the
Spider gears.
yeah. 20, 40 litres. Do you carry any more water than this?
No, that's it. I carry that when I go camping.
We're on to the sunroof roof rack.
Yeah.
We got a cutout for the sunroof.
Yes.
Did you cut that out or?
Yes, I did. When I bought this roof rack, before I install it, because it's metal and it's quite heavy, I thought, you know what, let me quickly get the grinder out, measure up the sunroof, because I didn't want to feel like trapped like a bird in a cage. And I still wanted to feel like I'm free, so I cut it all out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you put much on the roof rack? Because you got a lot of your camping gear inside.
Yeah, I do at times, say family or friends come or kids or something, so I'll put a lot of like the tents and gazebos and everything like that on there.
Yeah.
Or bags as well, wrap everything up properly and put everything up on here, so I've got more space inside for food and other things.
Lights and comms. We'll start with the light right in our face here. I can see you got spread and spots.
Yep.
Steady. So with your rock hopping and hardcore driving, that's enough for you?
For now it's enough, yeah. I've used it for a couple of years or a few years now. It was enough because we basically need more lighting underneath the car. Your rock lights, so that when the spotter looks underneath, you can see what's going on, so it can guide you in the proper way. And we do a lot of night driving as well.
So under here,
Yes.
that's where it's all happening.
Yeah, so I've got two strip lights, one on one side of the chassis and one on the other side of the chassis. You can see them there. It's got to be washed from time to time.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and they're running all the way to the back where the back of the fuel tank is, and they come sort of almost together as well.
Yeah, okay. We'll show a few shots from night time.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I've always just like, okay, we'll put a light here and a light there, but you've got the strip going through.
Yeah,
so
two strip lights.
Waterproof strip.
Yeah.
Takes bugger all power.
Yeah.
Very nice. And the lights on the back, I saw you had some reverse ones pointing sort of downwards.
Yes, because there was a factory camera on the car with this model, so a reverse camera. So when I put the bar on and the jerry cans, they were actually blocking the camera where it was coming out from back of the door or where the handle is.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll rewire it to back of the bar, and when I did that, I thought might as well put another reverse light like one of these 10-watt spotties.
So you can see a bit more when you're backing up.
Yeah.
Do you use your rear camera much when you're off-roading on this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I do. I do. It helps.
Yeah, I bet it does. Do you sometimes wish you had one on the front looking down?
I do.
Don't we all? Your headlights, have you changed any of these?
No, I haven't touched anything.
Oh, even the fog lights, they look a bit different than normal.
Oh, these fog lights here, that came with the bar.
Okay.
But the headlights themselves, no, I haven't changed anything. Don't want the LEDs, don't want the attention or attraction.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're going to get that anyway.
Well, trying to be as minimal as possible.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, I think that's done on the lights. What about the communication? Where's that? You got a handheld?
No,
or?
not yet.
Okay.
It's just a handheld, yeah.
Just a handheld?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess most of the stuff you're doing is not big convoy driving, long stretches, it's more around here. So,
that's right.
So you jump out of the car with it, you always got it with you in the
so
car?
you're spotting the guy at the same time. Yeah.
Makes sense. You got to save your money somewhere with these tyres, eh? Tyres and lift. Mate, these are massive. Maxxis Trepadors.
Yes.
There are some different specs on these tyres. You might have to fill me in on that because I don't know all that, but
All right, so
there's bias ply, there's radial, there's...
yes.
I'll let you take it away.
All right, so there's radial Maxxis Trepador tyre, doesn't have these side biters. It's got this similar pattern here.
Okay.
And they only go up to, I think, 35 inch. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But then once you go bias ply, they start making them from 35s. Bias ply means they got these side biters, the massive side biters, which are good when you're rock crawling and you've got rocks on the sides, and it just helps. And they got two types of them. One is just normal compound, and the other one is a sticky compound, or they call it competition tyre, which is this one.
Okay. So there's a competition sticky compound tyre, which means it'll wear down a lot quicker?
Yes, because it gets hotter faster, so and then it'll just grip.
Okay.
So even on highway driving, you'll be lucky to get like 20,000 kilometres out of this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How much are they?
Well, I paid $760 at the time per tyre.
Okay. So this isn't your daily driver then?
No. I'd be going through tyres so
Yeah,
often.
yeah.
You know, actually, when I drive down to the track, I try to minimise or drive at lowest speed I can without affecting traffic too much, because I'm worrying about tyres being hot, especially the rear.
Yeah.
And leaving treads. I'm just imagining the treads, you know, I'm losing tread. I need the tread in the bush.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I bought a package with tyres and rims together.
A lot of weights here too.
Yeah, because I wanted to balance them so they're easier to drive. Some people put balancing beads. I thought I'll give this a go, and they managed to do a good job.
Nice. And what type of rim have you got here?
That's a ProComp Vapor 2.
With beadlocks?
Yes, with beadlock rim, minus 30 offset, 17 by 9.
Okay. So 40-inch tyre on a 17-inch rim.
Yeah.
What is the equation on the tyre?
40 by, where is it? There, 40 by 13 and a half, 17.
Okay. Suspension.
Yes.
It's up there.
Yeah.
What height are we sitting at?
6-inch lift, Dobinson coils. And Dobinson coils actually extra heavy duty in the rear. I got 600 kilo rated springs.
Do you carry a lot of weight in the rear?
No, that's for other reasons. I figured out that the front will not be as sloppy as it is because I'm running a 5-link.
Okay.
And also because I'm running standard length rear control arms, trailing arms, I got a lot of rear steer, so it'll sort of minimise that, which I did notice. It still flexes good, so that was my only concern. And when I did order it, that's custom ordered from Dobinson's. They tried to talk me out of it, not to get it. I said, let me try, there's only one way to find out. And I'm very happy that I did it.
Awesome. And it's no question about it, it flexes real good. We got a few shots of it on the flexing ramp.
Yeah.
I reckon most people's vehicles will go over. That's pretty impressive.
It could
mate.
go more. We could have went further up the ramp.
Yeah, this is not long enough.
Yeah.
Alright, so you said 5-link. You done? So you got superior arms here.
Everything is superior, going
Okay.
from that 5-link setup. So the lower arms, the upper arms, rear, they're all adjustable, trailing arms, upper and lower.
Do you have to change any of the drive shafts or use a space or anything for those?
No, I didn't have to. They actually worked, and I actually, see this track here, I bent a tail shaft, the original one.
Okay.
And I ended up buying another tail shaft for a different model. They all come slightly different sizes, which was actually slightly longer, and I bought a spacer for it thinking that it's hard to find tail shafts for these models. Thinking if I buy another tail shaft, then I can use that spacer, but that tail shaft came a little bit longer.
So it worked perfectly.
And it worked perfect as a replacement, and I think it's a ZD30 automatic.
Nice. Note that down if you're going for 6 inches. That's a good find. So there's a few little twists and changes you've done that just seem to work, like the rear coils, the different. Well, that was an accident, right? The drive shaft
Yeah,
getting a different
Yeah.
size.
yeah. That was by fluke. Yeah, and see, the reason I twisted it, it was hitting the sub tank, and I got an extended range sub tank, which is.
Oh, so it wasn't because you hit the ground; it was because you hit the sub tank.
Yeah, it was hitting the sub tank corner, so it created a gouge on this track as I was climbing up that big step there, that first step. That's when I first noticed it, and then it just twisted fully up at the end, right on the last step.
Ouch.
And after that, I've cut the tank about probably 5 times by now. Every time you add certain or change a setup or modify something and you get more flex, get longer shocks or something like that, so trim a little bit more, and I didn't want to trim a big chunk out of it so it'd lose a lot of fuel because it was 76 litres originally. So these 5 trims brought it down to 70 litres, so I only lost 6.
Okay. Final part of the suspension, we have a remote res. What do we got?
Superior Engineering.
Oh, they do their own suspension as
Yes,
well?
yes.
Okay. Is that adjustable?
Yeah, it's got up to 8 levels. So normally I just, when I'm off-roading, I put it on 1. So basically it's like I lose the shock. I just want the springs to do their stuff. Yeah. And then when I get on the road, I put it on the max.
Okay. So in your mind, you only need 2 settings.
That's it. Minimum and maximum.
Awesome. How long are the shocks?
These shocks are 12-inch travel. They're the Land Cruiser 80 series or 100 series 7-inch shocks from Superior.
Okay.
They're 1 inch longer than the Nissan Patrol equivalent.
Ah.
So that's why we do that.
And you haven't had to limit your down travel or up travel or anything?
Yeah, I had to limit, so you can see the bump stops, how extended they are.
Oh, yeah.
So they're right down here. They used to be up here underneath.
And they're just rubber?
They're rubber.
Hydraulic? No.
Yeah, just rubber. And it's also serving as a dropout cone for the Nissan Patrol, and down on the bottom I've added the coil retainers so I can hold the spring in.
So when you are full flex on the front, does the coil actually drop out a little bit?
Yes, it does.
And that's that big click we hear sometimes
Yes,
when it comes back
when
in?
it reseats. They're all adjustable panhards, and I've changed the location of the panhard so it's sitting up higher than normal.
So it doesn't get collected by a rock?
No, it's for your stability and drivability.
Yeah,
of
but have you lifted it up, out it away from rocks, or is that what you're saying?
not for that reason. Draglink and tie rod, they're chromoly, all superior stuff. They make all the comp spec rated stuff, so you land on it after you go over a big rock and you don't want to bend it.
Yeah.
Because you go with a stock one and it'll come out like a banana and the wheels either that way or that way.
Yeah.
So I've landed on them so many times and no issue.
Okay.
Everything is heavy duty.
I think we should get into more detail on the driveline now. There's a lot going on under here, Musa. So we got the driveline separate.
Yep.
Let's start with the the basic stuff that people would like to know. Inside the front and rear differential, have you changed the ratios?
Yes, I have. This model comes with 3.5 ratios and I've changed it to 4.6, so it's a big jump for this model, to nitro gears. And you know, I've had it for like as long as I had the car, 5 years, and I haven't chipped one tooth yet.
Okay, that's good. Touch wood.
No, I trust nitro gears.
You said you had some hubs that kept snapping on you.
Well, the car comes with auto hubs, and that's not quite suitable, or they're not quite strong for the type of driving that we do. So I ended up buying a set of some popular hubs out there, manual hubs, but they didn't last me long. A few trips and I ended up breaking one, then I broke another one. They sent me a replacement. Then I ended up breaking another one and I thought I'll give up. Ended up getting a set of manual GQ hubs and the hub saver ring, so it doesn't, because they're alloy, so when you're under big flex like or pressure on the hub from say leaning, then the alloy tends to twist a bit and then it cracks.
Okay.
So you get these hub saver rings, and I got a 5mm thickness one, and never broke a hub again since then. It's been now about 4 years.
That's good to know.
Got axles. I put a 300M RCV axles in there. So
you run RCVs, cool.
Yeah.
But what about your gearing? Like
gearing in a transfer case? Yeah, I've put in 85% from Mark's adapters.
So you reduce that as well as the differentials. Cool. So what's your crawl speed like? Ultra slow?
Because it's an auto, this crawl speed is 61 to 1.
A 61 to 1?
Yeah. So not slow compared to like if you had a manual, would have been a much higher figure. I've actually changed the whole diff housing, and where the shocks come down on the Nissan Patrol, it actually protrudes down below the diff. So you get hung up on like smaller rocks, and you can damage a shock or damage that bracket. So we cut them off and re-welded them up higher so they're behind the diff housing, so that way they're not in the way and you won't get hung up on anything.
Rightio, Musa. So we spoke about this off camera and you haven't done much to the engine. So because of that, you don't really need to, because you've re-geared and all that. We'll get to all the gears, but you've compensated down below to do all that.
So far, yes.
Yeah.
Originally, my idea or the purpose for this was to turbo it.
Okay.
Yeah, but can't get there yet, need money.
Yeah, don't we all? Yeah, I totally get that. So you got LPG gas. Was this in the vehicle when you bought it?
Yes.
How does it go on gas compared to LPG compared to petrol?
Oh, it uses more gas, like for example, at the moment, I'm using about, on highway driving alone, about 25 litres per 100 of gas. Petrol would be about 20.
Okay, and that's because of the tyre size and all that?
Yeah. Even with these tyre sizes, since I rebuilt the engine, the consumption went heaps good. Before that, it was using more.
Okay. Single battery in here. Is there another one in the car?
Yes, there is. It's under the passenger seat.
Under the passenger seat?
Yes.
Interesting. We'll get to that one. Apart from your relays and your oscillator and all that, is there anything else in here? diff breathers or anything that we need to know
No,
about?
nothing else.
Okay, you're up so high, you probably don't need them, eh? Also, let's check out the inside of the wagon. So this is a toy car, so I wasn't expecting any drawers.
Off. Yes, that's
We
right.
just got all the camping gear for a week because we're about to head off on a trip straight after this modified.
And yeah, I don't want to add extra weight in a toy car. Drawers are heavy.
So what do we got in here, mate? Just all your camping gear?
Yeah, that's it. I'll just bring a table, a chair, or chairs depending, gazebo, lower one of the seats down. If I'm by myself, if I come with others, then I'll put everything up on the roof, like gazebo tent and all that. Well, I've got a pop-up tent because I'm by myself, so I just throw it out. and the ice box, and basically pots and fry pan and a few other bits and pieces, blankets, pillows.
And a boombox.
Well, yeah, I just bring the radio, like sometimes to relax at night.
Nice. What's in the cargo box?
We're here.
Yeah. So all your food
Ice
and
box,
stuff?
yeah.
Oh, it's an ice box.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but there's no ice, Top.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of vegetarian stuff, see? Tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, capsicum.
Yep.
And, you know, some dips here and there, water.
All the healthy stuff.
No sugar Coke.
It's a very clean interior. And you've got some switches that are obviously for all your secret weapons because you have diff locks too, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Of course you
here.
do. E-lockers?
Yeah, front and rear e-lockers.
What's this here? Auxiliary battery and battery oscillator.
Yeah, I want to kill the main battery as well when I lock up everything, and if I don't drive the car for a long period of time, I don't want any battery drainage.
Of course, because it's not a daily driver.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
I haven't pushed them all in because I'm still doing things.
Still working on
it? It's ready, but
Okay.
I'm still doing other things, and then it's hard to pull them out.
Is that a winch in and out button, that one down there?
Yes, so I wired a winch switch in here, so winch power, and then winch in and out.
So, okay, you got isolate it from here then.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got the winch in and out, and then you got driving lights, which is the front light. Or is that the LED strips?
Driving lights, that'll be the front fog lights on the Bulba, I think. Oh, hang on, I can't even remember how I wired it. Then I got, these are the fog lights. They're the LED, the steady bar.
Mm-hmm.
Then my battery indicator here. So I've got the main and auxiliary battery voltages, so I can monitor that. And then I've got another switch here for the rock lights.
That does the strips then?
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to seeing that in the dark. That'll be cool. And here's your two ways.
Yeah, they're flat because I couldn't find the charger. Just moved house.
Oh, okay, yeah. No worries. But they take normal batteries too, eh?
No.
Oh, they don't?
Battery packs.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
You've been running your radio in the car though, so what have you been using?
Well, whatever
had
I
a bit of juice in it, yeah. No worries. All right, and then you got all your camera gear and stuff in the back. Now, it is all jumbled up in the back because we freed up some space here, so it doesn't normally look like that.
Yeah.
It's a bit more organised.
Yeah.
Oh, you got your east, south, east, west, north, south, east,
yeah,
west.
all the patrols from even earlier models, the TIs at least that I know of, come with that. So you got the temperature and your orientation there. This one comes also with that screen, so you can, see what speed you're doing and where you're going.
Nice. And I'm sitting on a second battery.
Yes.
And we have some bubbling on the dash, which is pretty common for these.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. When I bought it, there was none, and look at that, it's like cancer.
Oh, wow.
Cancer.
Damn.
There was none.
Yeah.
And so anyway. And I even had that dash mat ever since, and still...
There's still bubbles underneath it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so just the pure heat.
Yeah.
Interesting. Q&A time. You've done this for quite a few years now, and this is quite a big build now. What is the main thing that you break on this type of vehicle, on a GU, that you set up like this?
Rear axles.
The rear axles?
Yeah.
Okay, so the front axle, you got a short, you got a half shaft and a long shaft. The rear is the same.
Yes, but the front we can get in chromoly, and we got options. So you got different types of chromoly. I'm running 300M.
Yeah, so the front is stronger than the rear.
Yeah,
But at the back, you got it's equal axles, the same length, aren't they?
yeah.
Are they the same axle you buy, or is
No,
there an actual?
no, they're slightly different.
Oh, really?
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a particular side that breaks, or
No, either or.
either or?
Yeah.
All right.
So I broke once one side, and then another trip broke the other side.
So you've done two.
Yeah.
Aside from that, what do you sort of break on these, like hubs and stuff, which you sorted out?
Yeah, hubs. Haven't broken anything else.
Okay. So why GU?
Because of the front diff. It's the same size as the rear diff,
Okay.
and that's the reason why I was swayed to go that way.
Are there any other vehicles, like say if you couldn't choose a GU, what would be another vehicle that you would choose to do this kind of build to? Because there'll be some vehicles you wouldn't do this to, I'll take it.
Yes, of course. The other vehicle would be an 80 series.
Yep. Just like your mates around the corner there.
Yeah. So that would be the next preference. Actually, when I was buying the first GU, it was deciding. Sorry.
That's cool.
I had to make a decision between an 80 series and a GU, and it's the front diff that actually.
Come down to.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about Toyota front diffs on this segment. I've got the same one on a 70 and they're pretty weak.
Yeah.
So is that what normally goes on the 80s?
Not normally. Depends how you drive it. Look, we've seen how Mark drives his, and he hasn't broken the front diff yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
good stuff.
He's actually broken the rear, but hasn't broken the
Oh,
front.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Third option for vehicle?
Third option would be a TJ Wrangler. I really like them.
Not a JK or a JL?
Not a JK, but JL I wouldn't mind because of the size of the axles that I've seen.
Oh, okay. So they're significantly bigger than the JK?
Yes.
All right. Because I know everyone changes all the running gear on a
Yeah.
JK.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're getting into this, you've got 3 vehicle options now, 3 makes and models even. There's a lot of different sides here. You've got Jeep, Toyota and Nissan, and you don't really care, do you? Because you have a Jeep as well, don't you?
Yeah, I have two.
Yep. Okay.
Two Grand Cherokees, one diesel, one.
So what happens with the banter? Do you still rip into Toyota people or not?
No, I don't even joke about these things.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah, because things actually break out here. Top 3 things you would say to someone to do to the vehicle. Okay, say for instance, I want to get into this now. What are the first 3 things you would tell me to do to a vehicle over your general mods? Because most people say tyres, lift,
Snorkel.
and a bull bar or snorkel or something. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
Instead of asking for favourite mods, I'm going to ask you, what do you recommend for people to get into this? Because
Yeah.
this is different.
Yeah, if you're into the rock crawling side of things, first thing, in my opinion, is rock sliders, protect the sills,
Mhm.
front and rear lockers, so you've got maximum traction, and if possible, reduction gears for vehicles that offer that. For those that don't, then maybe go lift or something. But then it would be those first 2 preferences, because with just standard setup, but traction, front and rear lockers, you can achieve so many things. And of course, rock sliders and bash plates and so on. But in these type of vehicles, you don't need bash plates, as everything is sort of
It's
away from
Yeah,
everything.
and that too, yeah.
Yeah.
What about tyres, good tyres versus suspension? What would you go first, tyres or suspension?
Well, in terms of size or?
No, like in terms of, if you could only choose one mod. So you've recommended rock sliders, diff lockers, reduction gears.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between tyres or lift, what would you choose there for the next thing?
But if I'm upgrading, if I can fit bigger tyres,
Yep.
I'd always fit bigger tyres than put a bigger lift.
So it's something you do at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can fit the bigger tyres. You want bigger tyres, but you need to lift it to fit them.
Yeah, like say for example a GU on stock setup you can fit 35s. So if I was to choose there whether I go,
So it's complicated.
it becomes complicated with each different vehicle. So
Yep.
in this case, if I was asked would I go lift or tyres, then I would go tyres because I'll have bigger tyres that'll lift me my diff higher off the ground,
Yes.
which is more important than having the body lifted.
Yep. What's your favourite full driving area in New South Wales? Are we at it? Is this it?
No, this is my favourite track.
Play area? Okay.
And yeah, of course, this play area, the Rock Gardens, is probably my favourite play area. But my best four-wheel driving experience that I've had, that includes camping and sleeping, is at the Wagon in the Pines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So a lot of fun during the day and camp up at night. So you use it like a base camp and you just head out during the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you ask me what's my favourite camp trip that I've ever had, I'd say it was one that I did at Marilla where I forgot to bring a tent. And I didn't want to go home.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'll sleep out in the open.
Okay. How did that go for you?
Good. Lucky it didn't rain.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking of spiders back then, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm so lucky there.
So Musa, you got a rather large YouTube channel, over 100,000 subscribers, heaps of videos on there, doing some crazy stuff with his vehicles, but it's really documented how you're driving around and you're kind of explaining, you know, like you can see you're doing all the spotting and that, so people actually learn a lot of direction from watching your videos.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a few of them. There's a few that have like a massive amount of hits. They're your fail ones,
Yeah.
where all your mates are and yourself are
Yeah.
breaking stuff and
That's where people can learn
getting
what
things
not to
wrong.
do.
Yeah. So what can we expect from your channel in future? We're going to see some more of all this like driving like you do out here.
Of course, there'll be more driving. I've been also asked about camping, more what do we eat, you know. I'm a simple guy and I just throw a pop-up tent out there, but people want to know what we do. People from other countries saying, oh, you guys talk about, oh, that's a nice place, but you don't show any scenery, so we
Yeah.
want to see what that looks like. So I have to keep all these things now in mind. So when I do new videos, show a bit of that as well, where we are, what part of Australia, what region it is, and
Awesome.
so on.
So it's always like a gradual improvement with all channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's thanks to the viewers and people that comment on there and their curiosity, and that's what builds us and gets us to, you know, show these things or improves us and the content.
Yep. What's your favourite video that you've done on your channel? Is there one standout that you're like, this was my favourite trip, and this is my favourite video? Is there one of those you recommend for these people to pop over and have a look at?
Well, one of my favourites is actually one of my biggest videos, which is at the Wagon, where I was crawling in a hole with a massive wheel lift, and I think that's what caught the attention. That's got over 11 million views at the moment, and so that's one of my favourite ones. But I would say one of my, because that's only at the start of that video, that's my favourite section of the video.
Yeah.
But as a whole, my favourite video is the zigzag at the Wagon. We were descending down in a camber, angles and all that.
I think
so-
I've seen that one, the zigzag. Well, if you want to see this thing do its thing, that sounds a bit weird. If you want to see this beast do its thing on some hardcore tracks with all of Musa's mates in hardcore vehicles, you got to check out Aussie Four Wheelers. And I'll put a subscribe button just right there, and you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There'll be another video down here with another vehicle. But thank you very much for bringing this on, mate.
You're welcome, Ronnie.
Yeah, and we're about to hit a trip, and I'm going to try and follow this thing.
Welcome.
See you guys.
See ya.